And in this video, we're going to talk about how to get a high tunnel. Now we're going to be walking back to my high tunnel, which is right there. And as you can see, my house is back there. And the reason that we had to get it installed back here is because my property has a ton of huge boulders. Middle Tennessee is coming down off of the mountains, and there's still lots of rock like this. Like this and like that. So the best place to do the installation was at the very rear of the property. And as you can see, I got to be very careful because we've got some trees that are down that need to be taken care of. There's always something. There is always something. So I'm just going to be very careful as I go through here. But anyway, so how you get a high tunnel starts with your farm tract number. I've talked to you guys about that I don't know how many times, but it bears repeating that if you're going to use the USDA like I do as a business partner, then you definitely are going to want to, watch my feet here, you're definitely going to want to get your farm tract number sooner rather than later. And even if like all of the holes that are on the federal spending right now are in place, still get your tract number because that stuff changes. So you definitely want to get your farm tract number because there's something called ranking dates when it comes to high tunnels. So get your farm tract number. That may take you a while. Then you're going to put in an application with NRCS. And if you remember from the last video, that is the Natural Resources Conservation Service. So here we are. This is a high tunnel. A high tunnel is different from a greenhouse in that it's not heated or cooled, okay? A greenhouse is. So mine is a 30 by 96. It's 30 feet across the front and it's 96 feet long. All right. So inside, let's take a look. This was installed by a company called, what's the name? Scenic Acres. Okay. Here is the interior of my high tunnel right now. Okay. It's not where it needs to be because we haven't done anything in there. We had a challenge with irrigation, right? We got started. We're very excited. We were hauling water back here and it just got to be so hot and the grass got to be so high that we just couldn't deal with it. You know, there's lots of snakes, obviously, but we got started with creating these. If you can see, one of those 4x4s. We got them all the way to the back there. But this place is just a perfect place to grow if you have irrigation. And so at the time that I got my high tunnel, I didn't apply for irrigation. I just was focused on paying for the high tunnel. So you get your farm number, you go to slide down the counter and you go to NRCS and they will give you an application for the EQIP program. That's how I got this high tunnel. As a matter of fact, I think my name may still be on it somewhere. I can't get in here. Hold on just a second. You'll look all the way at the top. I don't think you can see it. Anyway, we're not gonna worry about it. So you go to the NRCS, slide down the counter, and you apply for the EQIP program. And like I said, even though there's all this stuff going on with, government funds being on hold, you still want to go ahead and apply because of the ranking dates. It took me almost, maybe a year or two to get this thing. So a lot can change in that time frame. So don't let what's happening right now with all the, stuff politically stop you from applying for your farm number and going to NRCS, sliding down the counter and getting your EQIP application in. Now, I'll make sure I put a link to the ranking dates below this video. But basically, once you apply, there will be a site visit. And so you'll bring the conservationist, that's the employee at NRCS. He'll come out or she'll come out and they will look and see where you plan on putting the high tunnel. Here's the deal. When I got this high tunnel, I was told that all I needed to do was have something planted somewhere on my property. So I planted some tomato plants up at the front of the house, right? Close to the house. Well, I ended up finding out that wasn't, this year I was trying to get a second high tunnel closer to the house and or irrigation so that I could start to use this one more, you know, regularly. Well, come to find out, the folks, I tried to get a quote for irrigation and that didn't pan out. And honestly, I'm just like, you know what, we'll wait on that because I wanted to do some other projects first, and we'll just figure this out for when we figure it out. You know, I've already paid for it. It's here. It's not going anywhere. So we'll make use of it. So anyway, as I was trying to get another one closer to the house, what I realized was, okay, I'll plant something and make sure you have something planted. That was the situation. So I planted some collards up close. Well, he came out, my conservationist came out for my site visit, and he says, well, you know, you've only got we can approve you, but we're only going to approve you for what you've got planted. So I only had see this 4x4 box, this raised bed. That's all I had with collards. And he was like, I can get you a 4x4 high tunnel. So I was like, well, how come I was able to get a 30x96 with just one tomato plant? And he was like, well, you know, I was new, da, 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 da. So anyway, I was like, okay, I get it. So I couldn't get that second high tunnel. So this is just a cautionary tale for you. If you're going to get a high tunnel, they have this policy book or this rule book, and I guess it just depends on a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not going to go into that. But apparently, they can only approve you for the square footage that you currently have planted. Now, like I said, that wasn't the case with me with this one. As you can see, I have a 30x96 high tunnel on my property, and I did not have 2,880 square feet of produce planted before I got this. Facts, okay? So yeah, so that's the thing. So you're just gonna have to kind of figure that out. And if you want to err on the side of caution, just have the area planted, or at least, you know, prepared for what exactly the size is that you're gonna want for your high tunnel. Now, I have roll-up doors. Let me see if I can show you those. Hopefully it's not too overgrown. I've got these roll-up doors that will allow the high tunnel to be ventilated, because it does get hot in there. And you just basically roll it up. And as you can see, all the way down the side, it goes up. Now it's caught, so I'm not gonna make it go. But anyway, I gotta get some weed eating and stuff done around it. But basically this crank will roll it up all the way on the sides, on both sides. I've got it on both sides. But anyhow, so bottom line is this plastic that's on here. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you guys. Some of you guys were like, oh, I would have installed that myself. Okay, do you, boo? Because the tools, the stuff they needed, all that clamping up there, getting this plastic pulled taut over the whole thing took, I think, 4 people. So yeah, and this is a steel frame. This thing is solidly constructed, okay? And I love this door because it clamps shut at the bottom. The sliding door. And there's this little clamp right here, if you can see it. Let me show you. Let's do it again. You wanna go in? Let's move all this grass out of the way. And let me show you the whole little, hopefully you can see it. See that? How that kind of secures shut. So it just doesn't fall open on its own. All right, let's go. All right, so that's basically it. You get a high tunnel by getting your farm tract number, sliding down the counter to NRCS, then waiting. And like I say, I'll put the link to the ranking date so you can see it. Oreo, come here, boy. Rico, Oreo, come here, boy. Got to get them to learn how to listen. So yeah, it just takes a little bit. Good boy, good boy. He's so happy. You happy? Are you happy? Hey, chill out. All right, y'all, I gotta go. I'll see y'all later. Peace.